Hey guys and ghouls, Leo with the Dreaming Tree, and today we're putting together our ghost greeting card. I have all of the pieces cut out in front of me, as should you. And I do want to just quickly mention that slowly but surely here, we're going to be transitioning over to Encore cardstock that has actually been developed by 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. And well, it's just kind of out of necessity, just because American Crafts has had a hard time keeping their papers in stock and don't really see an end in sight. They developed their own paper line. I've been testing it and it cuts like butter, in some cases even better than AC. Haven't had any problems with it, and it has my approval, so we'll make sure to post a link to that and you'll see that in the supply list going forward. But anyway, we're going to start with the base here. We have a little insert that's just white. This is where you're going to put your little message. You can do your stamping. If you are savvy and know how to utilize the pen tool to have your machine actually write your message, you can do that as well. And it's just going to go right inside here. We're going to try to maintain a nice even border all the way around, and just make sure you do not get it on top of the little score mark here for the fold on the card. Sometimes it helps to kind of lift it up a little bit so you can see that line. Help you get it nice and centered, just like that. Okay, then we're going to start off with this large piece here. It's going to kind of create a little background scene for us, and that's going to be flush with the bottom as well as the sides. Okay, so we're going to apply our glue. We've got a little bit of real estate to work with here, so gotta act quickly. Just keep the glue nice and easy. You don't need a lot. Definitely get some on our cute little ghost's hands, up around the perimeter especially, and then we'll just kind of zigzag in the middle. And again, I would start at the bottom, make sure it's nice and flush with the bottom and the sides, and then just kind of drop it into place like so. There we go, press that down. I have an instant little background there. There we go. Okay. And then, all that's really left to do, we have a little moon and an additional bat. Now, I went ahead and I did do some inking on some of the pieces on here. Obviously, you don't really need to ink the black. I suppose you could ink it with some white if you wanted to. We're going to take our moon. You'll notice that there are two sets of little score marks here where the 2 points of the moon are going to go. So just match that up like so. And then we have a little bat here. A cute little graphic, animated sort of card, perfect for kids and adults. Super quick to put together. I know we've did a little poll, and I thought for sure that we'd get the result that we did. It just seems that people just don't make, well, I guess not enough people make Halloween cards. So I don't know if we're really gonna do an actual Halloween card this year, so we figured we'd do a little freebie. And I don't know what that is. It looks like a little bit of glue maybe. Okay, there we go. And now let's put together our little ghost. We're gonna foam square this whole thing onto the project. We're gonna start off with this black layer. The white layer is gonna go on top of that. And I'm not so sure that I even wanna ink this. If I was to ink it, I would maybe ink it with a little bit of black. But I don't know if I want to do that. I want to keep him nice and graphic and clean. I want this to be something that you almost like cartoonish, I guess, when I say graphic. I'm going to keep it like that. Just keep it simple. So, needless to say, this little card's going to go together super quick. All right, so we got our glue on our ghost. Match it up with that shadow layer. Try to get it as accurately as you can onto that shadow layer, just like that. I'll press that down. Okay, next we have our little caption here. It says boo. Now I took and I inked all the way up to the exclamation point here. You don't need to ink this part because it's going to be covered up. Don't need to waste our time applying ink on spots that are just going to be covered up anyway, because that's just silly. Okay. And you can see kind of where that goes, obviously. You want to match that up with the lettering there. And then, of course, the little handle over here on this side. Give it a little nudge if necessary. There we go. That looks good. All right, let's put our little, actually, you know what we could do? This little cutout here for the bottom of the exclamation point. You can put a couple dots of glue on that and just pop that right in there like a little puzzle. Kind of got stuck to my finger there. It's okay. All right. This little guy is going to go right here. Okay, that's just to make the handle orange. Speaking of which, you know what? I should probably ink that. I missed that. Let's just throw a little ink on this guy. Just on the handles, because the pumpkin itself, I've already inked, and that we can either glue that down flat, or we can also add another little foam square to give that some added dimension. Either way, your choice. That's what I love about this little this felt pad. It's kind of easy to get into the little nooks and crannies, so I can really get that ink covered in these little hard to get into spots. There we go. That's good enough. All right, apply some glue to that. Go all the way up that handle. Just like that. And pop that right into place. Just match that up with the handle there, like so. Make sure you cover up that green. And that also just naturally kind of gives it some added dimension, which is nice. All right, next we're going to take our little pumpkin face and apply some glue to that and put that right onto the black. There we go. So again, you can either glue that down flat, or like I mentioned, grab a couple little foam squares and give that a little extra life. I'm just going to use 2. I think that's plenty. It's a pretty small little piece. Okay. I'm just going to match that up with the shadow portion. There's a part of that little stem there on that back layer as well. And that was a little bit off. There we go. Okay. And our ghost has some cute little heart-shaped glasses. So this is definitely, if you're making some little goodies for some kids. I talked to one of our customers the other day. I think it was Judy Russo. She lives pretty close to me. And she said she was making them for, I think she said her grandkids. I don't know if it was her kids or her grandkids. And they were all like in their 20s and 30s. So, and I said, I love you for still doing that, because you know what? I don't think you're ever too old to get a goodie bag full of candy and a cute card, whatever it may be. Okay, so the glasses, you can see there are 2 little score marks there for the little tips of the hearts. You just want to line those up. I guess you could probably put some foam squares on these too, actually. That might look kind of cool. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. I got some glue on there. That's okay. I'll just rub that off. I like that. I think that's a good idea. Let's do that. Yeah, and it's going on the glue. Kind of yanked off, but the glue will actually help it stay on even more permanently. Just match that up with those little markers. Try to cover them up. There we go. Look at that. Super cute. All right, now we can flip our little ghost over, and let's get our foam squares on the back. Whoops. So you can see how quickly this goes together. I think this would be a great little card to do with some kids too. I think they would thoroughly enjoy it. And the pieces are relatively big enough to where I think they could handle it. And don't forget that you can see here how I've got a few little, you can see here how I have a few little foam squares that are half the size. Now you can, by all means, grab a pair of scissors and simply cut them to whatever size you need them to be. You don't have to use them at the size that they come. You can easily cut them once in half, and then you could even go back again and cut them into quarters, and they will work just fine and fit those little tight areas that you may need them in. Okay, that's probably good. I'm gonna do one more here for good measure. We'll grab our cute little ghosts and just match that up with the shadow layer, like so. And there we go. Okay, very cute little card, super quick. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without a coordinating envelope, which we always include with our cards. And you can see here, I've already pre-folded everything. We have this black part for the flap to give it sort of a cool two-tone look. See how nice that's gonna look. And that means that we're gonna need to apply glue to the actual flap, not to the black piece. If we were to try to put it on the black piece, we wouldn't know where not to put the glue so that it wouldn't show through these little cutouts. So that's why we're putting it here. Nice and easy. And then we'll take this piece, texture side out, just rest it on the surface, press it up against the score mark. As far as it'll go, make sure it's centered, and then just bring this down and press down, and that would 99% of the time it's spot on. Just keep pressing that down. These are my favorite colors to work with. That purple, the black, and the orange and the green combination, you can't beat it. It is the epitome of Halloween, and whatever it does, it kind of stirs up those little dopamine receptors in my brain, and I love crafting for Halloween. I hope you do too. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of glue, pop it right along the inside perimeter of that section of the left and right flaps, just like that. And we'll take the bottom, lift it up, press it down up against those two side flaps. And of course, you want to just make sure you give it a few extra seconds before you do what I'm doing here. But I always like to show you that it fits perfectly, closes nicely, beautiful little design, and your card is ready to go. So anyway, like I mentioned, this card is free on our site for a limited time, so make sure you head over there and grab it. But if you make this, I'd love to see it, and you can share your version in the official group on Facebook. So head over to your Facebook, do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where you'll find myself and over 40,000 other dreamers that inspire us. And if you enjoyed this video, please take a moment and consider subscribing to our channel on YouTube. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notifications anytime we release a new project, whether it be paid or free. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.